it might be something that you don't want to, discuss.
Everything's on the table until I tell you it's not.
Right. We you are a devout Christian brother, but I recently you've been trying to elevate and thinking about Islam.
No, recently I took my shahada.
Okay.
Twice, actually.
Why is that?
I was on a mission of elevation, and what I seen from the outside of the Muslim community was more discipline, more execution, more community. You understand? And what I understood from Muslims was that it was an elevation, you know what I'm saying, as it related to understanding scripture and saying that Christians, we had some things off. I never conceded to the idea that Jesus wasn't God, but I just I just knew that they got that wrong. And I felt like, as a Muslim, the scriptures, not me, but now reading the Quran, it was really no doubt that I thought they complemented each other. Mm-hmm. And when you read the scripture at face value, they do, because the Quran cites the Torah and the Injil, which is the Bible collectively. All of the scriptures, if you actually do the research on what the Quran meant when it mentions the Kitab or the book or these books, it's talking about all of the books, in real life. But, I looked at it as, I thought it was a level of elevation.
And the reason why I asked that, because I actually thought that was like refreshing, if you ask me.
Yeah, I was ecstatic.
I'm Muslim myself.
Right.
I'm coming from a Christian background. And I can honestly say I turned Muslim because I was kind of like not in agreement with some of the things that was, I guess, Christian values. The main thing was like accountability for me. I didn't believe that Christians hold, God, in a sense, held Christians. And that system held Christians, for to be accountable. I was taught that you can, pray for forgiveness, accept God into your heart, and you'll be forgiven no matter what you do.
Right.
So that's no matter if you're a rapist, murderer, or whatever. And that just never sat well with me. So one of the things as a Muslim that I learned was you're paid for it. You as a son of God or a child of God, you're promised, heaven, to be paradise, but you're gonna pay for the things you've done, and that just sat well with me. So that was one of the things, and it was refreshing because you were someone who, not like, I'm going against Christianity, but you wanted to learn Islam and find out if you want to be a part of it, not to rebuke Christianity, just to elevate. I see that. I like what they're doing over there. I like the discipline. I like some of the qualities I want to learn about. And I'm like, damn, you don't gotta be against Christianity to do Islam. That's proof. You don't have to be against Islam to find out about Christianity and find more about it. And I just was like, wow, that's powerful. So that's the reason why I asked.
No, thanks. All glory be to God, bro. It's intentions. You know what I mean? It's all about intentions with me. You feel me? With the people around me and with myself, because that's what the Bible teaches you. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean? And I believe in that. And from when I look like you said, you Muslim, my brothers and sisters, you feel me? Like, I've been identifying when I look at my friends and family as people. Mm-hmm. But people are not the religion. People are not what the scriptures say. You feel me? And the same things that I identified as far as, like I said, organizing and all that, those things are true. But why you hear me telling you I'm open in the church and I don't no longer identify as a Muslim is because what I read in the scripture. Like when you said earlier, I know as a child of God, I'm going to be held accountable. Mm-hmm. In the Quran, based off of the research that I've read, God, and that's in the Quran, doesn't look at you as a child of God. You're only a slave to God, and it is shirk or against the belief to identify yourself as a child of God. I didn't know that. You understand? And the statements like, if no one sinned, I will wipe all the people out and create sinners. Instead of where the God of the Bible is like looking for the most righteous non-sinning person, and the goal is for none of us to be sinners. Whereas though it's scripture saying, if it ain't no sinners, I'm gonna wipe everything out. So if everybody was good, that's not a good thing. Like what? That ain't the God. It's citing the Bible as what it learned, and but then it's saying that it got it wrong, and this is the new revised version. And then when I looked up the history on what the people and the Prophet Muhammad practiced before Islam, it was pagan and idol worship, the same thing that Muslims be attacking Christians with about Christmas. Like they experts about pagan worship, and here it is, the building in Mecca and the some of the habits that they're doing is actual certified pagan worship activity. People don't know this. I didn't know this. I don't think people signed up like, yo, this is what I like you said, I would never been. If I would have knew this up front, it would have been nothing to explore. Even with the shahada, come to find out there's a more in-depth shahada where you have to say that Jesus is not God. So I wouldn't have been able to take shahada if I would have said the whole thing, because I wouldn't have said that. I would have had to been stuck to go, do the research. Like, oh, well, I ain't saying that. I like what y'all go. Like, look, that's the way. That's the way. Cool. Well, go do your study before you do that if that's not what you want. And then now, after really realizing what that means and why it's so important to be able to identify as a child of God. First of all, when you look outside of religion, if you agree that God exists and He created us, that's like that relationship of with a child, father-child, that establishes that. Even when people told me, it's like, oh, you a slave, it was identifying, like a person was trying to tell me, God look at you as a slave in the Quran. And I'm like, well, yeah, God say you a slave to sin in the Bible too. But what He say on the other side of that is come over here and be my child. And basically only a slave to sin, not a slave to righteousness. So even in my head, I'm like justifying it. Oh yeah, man, we a slave to sin. That's in the Bible, but not in the sense of only looking at me as a slave and never looking at me as nothing else. That is the complete opposite. You understand? Mm-hmm. So that's what that's what caused me to take a step back. And like I said, that's what the scriptures say. I do not believe that's what the people stand for. You understand, that are practicing the religion. So, I want to be very, intentional in saying what is written. I still love and support the people, my Muslim brothers and sisters, because I know that's not where their heart at. I know they're not reading and they're not aware, of what that says. And I can't, as I say, I know, but that's what I believe. They're in it for why I was in it. I wasn't in it because I understood that and signed up for that. That's what I just found with my due diligence. You get what I'm saying? So,
Well, I believe it's respect. Like I respect that you came to, elevate yourself and to seek, information and not on no, And I also respect that you could respectfully bow out and say, I'm okay. You know what I mean? I respect that. So that's why I think that's what we need more of.
Thank you.
You being you, me being you. You respect that? I respect that. You know what I mean? So
and with love, and that's what I'm saying. It was, I talked to you yesterday as my Muslim brother, but I took some time, because it's people. What I said some stuff. On what I discovered that's there to people. Religion is important to me. So I, being out of respect, being mindful. Mm-hmm. That's what's the key to respect. I just want to point it out. It's about thinking about you, who's on the other side. Is what I'm doing. Because that's why I say, that's what the scriptures say. It's not about the people. Sometimes people, my religion is me. Don't treat it like that. Mm-hmm. It's a part of you. But don't attack me because I'm telling you what I found in a book. Mm-hmm. I don't have a problem with you or any person.
Same thing, whereas a lot of people got a problem with Christians and not Christianity. Not to say that you won't find something that you don't like, but you don't like how the people treat you. You got a problem with my skin. You don't know how black people like. You don't like. So I definitely agree and understand what you're saying. You know what I mean?
That's all I'm saying.
And like I said, we can have differences. It's about respect.